Hello and welcome to getting waiting for the thumbs up then. Hello and welcome to Go Quick. Sorry for the false start there. Software was playing up and tried to go to the wrong stream, but as I shared out the link, I thought I'd stop it and try and get back into the proper one. So, a little bit of fun and games. Today we're talking about USBs, and it can be a bit confusing for beginners, especially if you're not used to setting up lots of IT equipment, as to what we mean when we say USB. Because that could be a memory stick, it could be a cable, it could be a converter, but they all essentially have the same three-letter acronym. It's USB. So most of the time when I'm talking about USBs, I'm talking about memory sticks, such as this one. We can actually work with cables too. So let's go a little bit of a deep dive, shall we? Let's start with our humble little USB extension cable. So if I show the end of this one, you'll see this end is more like the USB that you're used to. But this end looks a little bit different. And this is because it's an extension one. So your USB memory stick is going to slot into there, like so, and our normal end is going to go into our machine. So why do we do this? Basically, this cable should cost you between £5 to £11. That's it. Don't pay any extra than that, otherwise you get ripped off. But at the end of the day, if something goes wrong with your USB, or the fact that you're changing USBs frequently, you can replace this for another £5 to £11. Whereas if it's in your machine, not so easy to replace it, and that can be quite costly. So I do advise all my students to have a USB extension lead to put your memory cards into. And most of the time, you'll leave this end attached into your machine permanently. So you'll only be putting wear and tear on this end. Now, obviously, if you come into class, you're going to pop that out, ready to travel. Really important, don't leave it in the machine. Otherwise, you could potentially damage your port that way instead. So, that's a little bit of a whistle stop now. USBs, as in the memory sticks, I do recommend a SanDisk Crucible, which is one of them. And they're fantastic because straight out of the packet, they're formatted correctly for our machines. If you have another brand of USB that isn't working, chances are it just needs reformatting to the right format. If you've got my book, I tell you in there about all that. But if you have any questions, pop them in the comments now and I will go through them. Next, we have the USB printer cable. Now, this is the one that goes from your machine to your computer, whether that computer is a Mac or a PC. Square end, as I would call it, goes into your machine, and our regular USB is going to go either into a USB hub that's attached to your laptop or desktop, or it's going to go straight into the computer itself. If you have a really modern computer, however, you can get a little adapter. So that's USB-C, and at the other end we have a USB-A socket. So similar to our extension lead, we're going to slot our regular USB into that one, and then we've turned our USB-A into USB-C. There we go. So I thought we would do a little bit of project and then show you how we can transfer the files from one to the other. If you have any questions along the way, do pop them in the chat. we are watching so we can answer. And of course, before I go too far, didn't mention these ones, you may also have USBs that have designs already on them. So in this case, very old friend, our USB that we used to do for students, and you may have a branded USB as well. So if it has cut files, you can load that into your machine. I'm going to need your seat, darling. So if you want, yeah, that one. There we go. So welcome to my Mac. And we're going to hop across to Canvas desktop like so, and I've just let this open as usual, so we've got our pop-up window with all our projects. If you want to use one of those, you can do, just to have something on the map, but I'm going to do a really quick little project. So I've just enlarged my screen, so everything that you usually see at the top and bottom gets a little bit cut off in this view, but it's all there. All the menu bar that you can see in yours is there, trust me. Okay, so let's go for I'm going to go for rainbow. It's Pride Month after all. Okay, so we've got our little rainbow shape, and I'm going to get some circles. There we go. And I'm just going to size that down slightly, just using shift to keep proportion. And ding, ding, ding. There we go. Move that up. Don't worry too much about getting it perfectly aligned. And we'll duplicate that. So we'll go to the layers palette, down to the bottom next to the recycle bin. It's just off the screen. You've got little 2 squares and a plus button. That does your duplicate. And we can press and hold shift and shrink that one down. Like so. Okay, so we're going to have something that looks like that. Now, let's get it all nicely spaced. So to start with, I'm going to align my objects to center. So you should have a little bit of a wiggle. And then if we have that one there, my outer shape just needs to go just a touch. Now the reason I'm doing it like this is if we use offset, it's going to offset this bottom edge as well, so that our rainbow then cuts off around about here, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to select everything, and let's go to divide. I was thinking, shall I do remove overlap? But no, divide's going to be better for this one. Just going to select along the bottom of the shapes, just to get the shapes I don't need anymore, like so. And we have a rainbow. And those pieces are all separate, so that if you need to cut them from different colours, which we'll do, we'll space them out. So, you know me, I like to use my 4 corners to kind of go that they're different colours. And let's add some text to that. And let's say we want to cut our letters all in different colours. We can go love, and let's choose something that's a little bit more bold. Make it big. Can kind of size it according to that outside of our rainbow, like so. And then we can go divide those, and Because we've used divide, it's going to separate it up into its individual letters. So we can say the V is going to be in that colour, the E is going to be in this colour, the L can be in that colour, and let's think, O, we could go for probably the same colour as the E. That way, we're just using the 3 colours. So it looks a bit random at the moment, but because we're, say, cutting that from card or vinyl, it doesn't really matter. We can just pick that up with transfer taping in terms of vinyl, or we can just position the card, obviously. Now, I'm just going to do a really quick save as. Give it a sensible name. So, love card. And that's so that we can find it after. And we can go to export. Now, it's going to give us 2 options. And usually what you'll see me do is I'll use the Wi-Fi because that is the easiest setup that I have for my craft room. Now, if you're a CM user with these changes occurring, you may not be able to do that. It depends on if they've fixed the issue with CM users in ArtSpira. So, if you don't panic. You still have ways that you can get designs from this version of Canvas across to your machine without needing to use Wi-Fi, and that's what the USB is for. So we're going to use export FCM file instead, but you have options. We can either use the USB memory stick and put that into the computer and basically transfer the file to that, or we can use the printer USB cable, so that's the one with the square end, to go from the machine directly to the computer. So I'm going to show you both ways because I'm lovely like that. So, do you want to quickly go overhead and I'll show what I'm doing? Sorry, the software's misbehaving today. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the USB memory stick into my USB-C little connector. That's because I'm working on a MacBook, doesn't have a USB-A port. I'm going to attach that into my machine. Thank you. If you want to hop back to screen. Thank you. And we're going to go export FCM file. It's going to pop up as if it's going to save, but it's saving FCM rather than the CanvasWorkspace file. We can scroll down on the left hand side. PCs will be slightly different. And no, not that different. So we're going to look for the one that says no name, unless you're giving your USB a name, which you can do when you're formatting it. And you can use the same file name and we can just go save. And it's as simple as that. And of course, because we're going to be on our best behaviour, we're going to safely remove our USB. Now PCs go down to the bottom still, don't they? And right click on the little USB icon to do safely remove USB. On a Mac, you're going to hit the eject button. And then once it's gone, we can take that out and it's ready to go onto our extension lead and into our machine. We're going to that one. Okay. So, I'm hanging. There we go. So I'm going to put my USB memory stick into the socket end of my extension lead, and this is going to go into the side of my machine. Yep. I need to squeezing. One of those times when I wish I'd gone for a smaller chair. Right. So, right hand side of your machine, if I can find the hole. It's going to be one of those 2 ways. Can you give me a bit of guidance here, Ian? You're going to do it, are you? There you go. It was going to be awkward. Ian's a little bit taller so he can get over the top. There we go. So, turn on the machine. Helps if you turn it on at the wall. We had storms the other day, so just be safe. We did unplug the machines. Bless you. We'll do our usual little start up. Now, to retrieve from USB memory stick, we're going to go to retrieve data, and we're going to go to USB. Looks like a little memory stick, so it's nice and easy to remember. And occasionally it's going to play up, just to be awkward. Not that it hasn't been used for a while or anything. If you do have an issue, just give it a quick dust, and usually that will solve the issue. Come on. Come on. Did I pick up the wrong extension lead? Have I broken it? Yeah, okay. Choice of 2. Let's swap the cable over, shall we? This is why I have a backup. Thank you. No, it's just going to play silly. Okay, it's just me it doesn't like today. Fair enough. So, you'll notice that when I saved, I had lots of folders, and I'm going to get into my collection on Wednesday at 8, when I'm going to show you how we can save our files to a My Collection folder. And that is when we're doing things like the kit for the rotary blade, for instance, so that we can actually access the downloaded files onto our machine without having to go through Canvas. I'm going to drop down to the bottom and just nudge back up, find the file, there we go. So there's our love card. I'm going to tap on that and go OK. And then we can cut as normal. Now, let's say I've cut the design and I've finished. We can go to retrieve data, USB. It's going to behave this time. We can go back to our file, tap on it, and now we can use the delete function to say we don't need this file anymore. So we can save some space on our storage. Just press delete and OK to delete the selected data. Absolutely. And there we go. It's as simple as that. Okay. If you think, well, I don't really want to do anything now, just tap on the X and tap the back. So that's the USB memory stick. Let's show you the other way. Now this is the fun bit.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I'll take this end.
You do that.
I was going to say. Right, so I'm going to use the printer cable. I have the USB-A end, which is the rectangular end, and I'm putting that into the USB-C adapter. And the in has the square end, and he's putting that into the machine.
Okay. I'm going to try and turn the machine a bit so you can see where I'm sticking it.
Yeah.
It's only got one hole, but it only fits in the one place. So
Yeah, and it is keyed. It only goes in one way as well. Do you want to move the camera slightly? There we go. There we go. So that little funny square port there is the USB for your printer cable. It'll come up on your Mac or PC saying, do you want to connect the Brother ScanNCut machine to this Mac? Yes, I do. So we're going to go allow. And that's come up on the other screen, so apologies that we couldn't show that. And we're in. So let's go back to
screen.
Yes, please.
Transition.
We're going to go back to Canvas, and we still have our design, so hence I wasn't bothered about deleting off the USB. And we can go File, Transfer FTM, Export FTM file. So far it's exactly the same as if we're using the USB memory stick. Now we're going to scroll down, and if it's good, if it's really good, you might find that it has a folder. On the other hand, it might decide no, it's not going to play ball. I don't want to have to restart the computer just for you to see it. I allowed you to connect. Let's cancel that for a minute.
Do you not still have the option just to send via cable? You used to be able to just send it direct.
It's weird because it didn't used to come up saying Brother ScanNCut. It knows it's a Brother ScanNCut, so why can't it just... Let's see if it'll do it. No, it doesn't. Just does it Wi-Fi or FCM file. And usually it will come up, and on a PC it gives it a drive letter. So you'll probably find it either has F or G tag. So if you think of your hard drive is a C, usually. And so on and so forth. It uses the next letter available, basically. So it goes on the number of hard drives you have attached. CD drive, if you have one still in these days. And then at the very end, it will give you your ScanNCut. And this is interesting because it is not wanting to play ball. Let me just try something and see if I can get it to do it if I go the other way. So I do have a dock that connects, so I can go through my dock and see if that will work better. Because it may just be having a bit of a hissy fit at the adapter. But I will see. No. Let's cancel that a minute. Why is this not working today? It's one of those random days where we're just getting glitches, isn't it? Let's go up the other way. It's definitely okay the other end, isn't it? And it definitely came up saying Brother ScanNCut the first time. It is just not wanting to. Let me try just putting it into this one just before we try and go back. which is fun because it's like, find the slot. Bear with us, please. I don't think I've got a spare USB-A in there anymore. Okay, we'll go back the other way. It's not okay yet this time, is it? Just out of interest. Yeah, restart the ScanNCut. I can't restart the computer, otherwise you'll lose the stream, but can restart the ScanNCut. If that doesn't work, I'll come back and show you the USB cable again once we get it working. Let me just check the finder. There's probably a security thing somewhere. Yep, I will have to do that another day. It's just playing up. I did say that the software is having issues, didn't I? So I will restart my computer. If I can get it to do it tonight, I will come back on very quickly and just do it tonight, just to finish off this stream. But thank you for joining me, and apologies for the cable playing up. So we will try and work on that in a little bit, and hopefully be able to see you in a bit. Bye for now.
Transition.